You were never meant to shrink to fit the world. You are meant to rise, to expand, to embody the fullness of who you are. It's time to stop running from your own magic and start owning it. Picture this: you're constantly hustling, overgiving, overthinking, pushing yourself to exhaustion while chasing your goals, approval, and a sense of enoughness that always seems just out of reach. You're trapped in a cycle of doing, proving, and pleasing, feeling like no matter how much you achieve, something is still missing. It aches for something more. Now imagine the opposite: a life where you are deeply at peace with yourself, where you own your power effortlessly, radiate confidence, and move through life with an unshakable sense of self. A life where you are no longer fighting against your own nature, but instead flowing with it. This is the power of embracing your feminine energy, and it's the key to unlocking your deepest happiness, success, and freedom. The world has taught us that power means control, aggression, and constant action. Feminine energy is not weak. It is magnetic, intuitive, creative, and deeply transformational. It is the energy that bursts life, ideas, and revolutions. Yet many women have disconnected from this power, conditioned to believe that their softness makes them fragile, that their emotions make them unstable, and that their intuition is irrational. This disconnect leads to burnout, insecurity, and a sense of being lost in your own life. But here is the truth: your feminine energy is your superpower. And when you connect with it, you step into a version of yourself that is bold, free, and unapologetically you. And when it comes to power, it all depends on who yields it and what they choose to do with it. It can be a force of good or for selfish desires. And you have to ask yourself, are the people currently with a lot of power doing anything for the good of humanity? So in this guide, we're going to explore what feminine energy really is and what it's not, how embracing your feminine energy leads to more confidence, peace, and success, and a practical, soul-deep way on how to reconnect with your feminine power. Section 1. What is feminine energy and why is it so powerful? Feminine energy is not about wearing pink, being submissive, or following outdated gender roles. It's about being fully in tune with yourself, your emotions, and your power. This will look different for every single person who chooses to tap into their femininity. It absolutely can be wearing pink and having princess vibes, or it can be all black with pleather and lace, or anywhere in between. It's about reconnecting to what makes you smile and makes you feel good. It's about tapping into your natural, intuitive nature to help guide you in your life. It's about saying yes to letting go of the need to control things that you know you have no real control over. To step into your natural abilities and to honor your femininity so she can be expressed in all her magnetic glory. Feminine energy is magnetic. It draws in what is meant for you rather than forcing outcomes. It's intuitive. It trusts your gut feelings, body wisdom, and inner knowing. It's creative. It thrives in expression, artistry, and vision. It's flowing. It moves with life rather than against it. It's receptive. It knows how to receive without guilt or resistance. Without it, life feels rigid, exhausting, and disconnected because you're constantly operating in survivor mode rather than your soul mode. Which for me, I didn't realize I was in survivor mode for the first 28 years of my life until I started reading and learning about the trauma that I had been through in my life. It got to a point where my autoimmune health issues were running my life, having no energy or will to figure out who I am because who I thought I was someone weak and shameful. But thankfully, I found my way to reading and learning about how to heal from my past and build that bridge of self-trust and worth back. And one of those bridges was reconnecting with my feminine. I had shut her off and down when I was very young due to a father who wanted a boy and treated women horribly, mixed with terrible female role models in my life, mixed with a lot of SA. My feminine was scared, crying out to be hugged, and trying to tend to the scars that plagued her. But thankfully, I finally heard her tears and opened my arms to finally embrace her, and my life hasn't been the same since. Section 2. The cost of rejecting your feminine power. When you reject your feminine side, you might experience chronic stress, anxiety, and burnout from always being in go mode, feeling disconnected from your desires, emotions, and intuition, struggling with people-pleasing or feeling the need to earn love and validation, living in your head instead of your body, overthinking everything and doubting yourself, or a constant battle between wanting softness and fearing it makes you weak. Signs of being disconnected can manifest in so many ways, but they all result in you not feeling whole. You yearn for something more, but keep finding yourself limiting what you think you can do, or others pushing you back down when you try to raise up. Being disconnected cuts off your mind and heart's ability to give you hope and something beautiful to work towards. When you are connected with your femininity, you are able to help people, but know when you are emotionally able to and have boundaries in place for when someone wants to overstep. Obviously, this doesn't apply when you're a parent or guardian, but this is more for other people in your life. When you find that people walk all over you, or you rage in your head when someone mistreats you or cuts you off, but instead of speaking up for yourself like the lioness that you are, you find yourself being meek like a cub instead. By accessing your feminine energy, you find the power to enforce your boundaries, to know when you have the energy to give to another human being, and to not allow people to walk all over you. You learn to advocate for yourself. These patterns don't just affect your mindset, they impact your relationships, career, self worth, and overall happiness. But the good news is that you can reclaim your feminine power at any time. Which section 3 is how to reconnect with your feminine power. So the first step is to embody your unique expression of femininity. Feminine energy looks different for every single woman. Some express it through softness and stillness, while others radiate it through bold, wild creativity. The key is to define femininity on your own terms. A wonderful journal prompt to help you dive deep into this is, what does femininity mean to me? What makes me feel most powerful and alive? Are there any role models that come to mind that I want to try and embody? Step 2 is to activate your body's wisdom. Feminine power lives in the body and not in the mind. If you're always overthinking, you're likely disconnected from your intuitive power. So, to help with this, try movement, dance, yoga, sensual touching, anything that makes you feel alive. Take some nature time, walk barefoot on the earth, breathe in fresh air, and let nature recharge you. Or you could do some rituals like long baths, self massage, or wearing fabrics that make you feel sensual and radiant. You can also do what I kind of started off with doing, which was reading and healing. I have a book list that you can find in the description box below that helped me on my healing journey, from healing from shame as well as my PTSD. By taking the time to heal your wounds, you start to heal your connection with your body, to build back the trust between your mind and body. It's one of the most powerful acts of self-love you can do. Step 3 is to trust your intuition and use emotional intelligence. Your intuition is your inner GPS, but most women have been conditioned to ignore it. But no longer will we allow others to dictate our life. To strengthen it, you want to try to meditate or practice stillness to hear your inner voice. Keep an intuition journal, write down your gut feelings and see how they might play out. Follow your emotions as a guide rather than suppressing them. And again, learn about how to control your emotions in a healthy way that doesn't cut them off, but honor when they bubble up, but not letting them take control of your life. Step 4 is to balance your masculine and feminine energies. Feminine energy doesn't mean abandoning your masculine drive. It just means to rebalance it. You can be both a boss in the bedroom and a deeply intuitive woman. You could be strong-willed and soft-hearted. You can be independent and open to receiving love and support. A balancing tip here is to start noticing when you're overly in doing mode, aka your masculine, and practice being more feminine. This can be as simple as slowing down, surrendering, and trusting the process. Another example could be when you are going hard at work and you're really on your girl hustle mode, but then as soon as you come home, you take off your clothing that you wore to work and you put on a nice linen gown, or you go outside and start gardening. Just something that will help you to balance both sides, because it is really wonderful to have and live in that duality, to not only prove to yourself that you are capable of knowing which way to go in life using your intuition, and then having the strength to see it through, which is your masculine. Because your feminine energy is not something you need to earn, it's already within you. The more you embrace your softness, intuition, and unique expression, the more powerful, peaceful, and magnetic you become. We are powerful creatures of the wild, and even if you choose not to use this part of yourself, you still have the power within you to create. This is your reminder to stop running from yourself. Stop fearing your magic. Stop believing you have to prove your worth. It's time to finally step into the woman you were always meant to be, whomever she is. Take the first step today. Try one of the practices I just shared with you and share in the comments what resonated the most with you. And are you looking for a community to join? You can join my very new Facebook group to find fellow blooming goddesses for support and to connect with. And if you like this kind of content of diving deep into who you are and choosing who you actively want to show up in the world, definitely consider subscribing to the channel and joining your fellow empowered women. Remember that I believe in you, sweet soul, and that you are deserving of a life filled with strength, hope, and happiness. Don't forget to shine like the star you are made out of, honey, and until next time.